Before we begin, I want to ask you something and I want you to answer in your heart. Which country are you watching this from right now? What time is it in your part of the world? Are you watching this late at night, when your heart feels heavy and restless? Or early in the morning, when you're hoping for clarity but nothing seems to make sense? Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I want you to know something very important. The feeling you are experiencing, the restlessness, the heaviness, the unease in your heart, it is not random. It is not weakness. It is not a mistake. That feeling is alive. It is speaking to you. And what it is telling you could very well change the rest of your life. Because what you are feeling right now, whether you are in Pakistan, the United States, Egypt, or anywhere else in the world, is Allah's way of redirecting your life. It is either going to save you, or if ignored, it could slowly harm your soul. And this is why it is so important that you stay with me until the end. By the end of this talk, you will finally understand why your heart has been restless, why peace seems so far away, and why every uncomfortable feeling you have experienced has been a message, a guide, a warning, and a protection from what you cannot yet see. So wherever you are, whatever time it is, I want you to take a deep breath, open your heart, and listen carefully. What you feel right now might very well be your life or death. Allah removes peace before He redirects your life. There are times in life when nothing around you seems to have changed, but inside, everything feels different. You wake up in the same room, see the same people, follow the same routines, yet your heart feels heavy, restless, and uneasy. You might wonder why you feel this way when everything looks fine from the outside. That loss of peace is not a sign that you have failed, and it is not punishment. It is actually a form of mercy. Allah often allows this feeling to come first because it prepares the heart for what is coming next. When peace is quietly taken away, it is like a gentle nudge, a warning that this chapter of your life has served its purpose. Sometimes we cling to people, places, jobs, or routines simply because they are familiar. Even if they no longer bring joy or growth, we hold on because they feel safe. But Allah sees what we cannot see. He knows if we continue holding on, we might remain stuck in a situation that slowly harms our heart, even if it looks fine on the surface. That emptiness, that restlessness, is Allah protecting you. He's helping you let go before the harm grows deeper. It is important to remember that the loss of peace is not the end. It is the beginning of clarity. When the heart feels restless, it is starting to notice what it truly needs. It is learning that comfort alone is not enough if it is taking you away from the life Allah has planned for you. What once felt good can feel heavy because you are meant for something bigger, something closer to your purpose. The discomfort is a signal to pay attention, to reflect, and to trust that Allah is leading you to what will nourish your heart, even if you do not understand it yet. Sometimes this feeling can be scary or confusing. You may want to run back to what was familiar, hoping to feel peace again. But true peace will never return in a place or situation that is no longer meant for you. The moment you start to accept the uneasiness instead of running from it, you will notice a subtle shift inside. Your heart will begin to loosen its attachment to what was never meant to last, and slowly you will feel the first signs of calm that come from trusting Allah. This is how mercy works. It gently guides you, even through discomfort, toward a life that is better for your soul, a path that can carry you forward without holding you back. The discomfort you feel is divine guidance. That uncomfortable feeling you cannot explain, the one that keeps coming back no matter what you do, is not weakness, and it is not meaningless. Sometimes we try to ignore it, distract ourselves, or convince ourselves that everything is fine, but it returns. That feeling is actually a form of guidance from Allah. It is His way of gently tapping on your heart and saying, "Pay attention, something is not aligned." Discomfort is often the first sign that you are moving away from what is good for your soul, even if your mind or surroundings don't notice it yet. It is subtle, quiet, and persistent, and it won't leave until your heart listens. Think of it like a warning light on a dashboard. You might not see the problem yet, and it may be inconvenient or uncomfortable, but ignoring it does not make it disappear. That light is a form of protection. Similarly, the uneasy feeling in your heart is a form of mercy. Allah wants you to pause, reflect, and reconsider your path before continuing further into what may not be right for you. Often we think guidance should come with certainty or clarity. We want to be told exactly what to do, who to be, or where to go. But divine guidance often comes as a feeling, a sense, a restlessness that nudges us toward awareness. It can appear in many forms: a quiet doubt, a heavy heart, a repeated thought that won't leave, or a subtle discomfort that nothing seems to fix. All of these are Allah's way of whispering to your heart, encouraging you to pay attention to what is truly important and helping you notice what you may be ignoring. Sometimes this feeling can feel scary. You may feel trapped or confused, wondering why peace has been replaced with heaviness. But it is important to remember that discomfort does not come without purpose. It is a guide that prevents you from walking blindly toward harm, wrong decisions, or people who are not meant to stay in your life. Your heart knows more than your mind sometimes. That uneasy feeling is your soul's way of telling you that something is out of place and that you are being gently steered away from it. You may feel impatient and want instant answers, but divine guidance works slowly, quietly, and with patience. It grows stronger until your heart finally listens and decides to take action. The beauty of this process is that the guidance comes with your consent. It allows you to reflect, to choose, and to move with awareness rather than fear. Every time you sit with this discomfort, instead of running from it, your heart becomes stronger, wiser, and more attuned to Allah's plan. And you will notice, gradually, that the very discomfort you once wanted to escape becomes your teacher. It teaches you to recognize what is right for your soul, what brings you closer to peace, and what distances you from it. It shows you that not every moment of unease is a problem. Sometimes it is a signal, a soft, loving hand guiding you toward a better version of your life, a safer path, and a closer connection with Allah. The feeling you cannot escape is actually a blessing disguised as heaviness. It is a sign that Allah is still guiding you, still protecting you, and still inviting you to a path that is meant for your heart. Your soul has outgrown where you are. There comes a moment in life when you realize that the space you are in no longer fits who you have become. You are still doing the same things, being with the same people, following the same routines, yet inside you feel confined, restless, and even invisible to yourself. Your heart feels tight, your mind feels heavy, and you cannot seem to find comfort in what once brought ease. This is not a flaw, and it is not a failure. It is a sign of growth. Your soul has expanded, and what once held you is now too small. Often we confuse comfort with contentment. We stay in situations, relationships, or jobs that are familiar because they feel safe, even if they no longer feed our hearts. But when your soul begins to outgrow these spaces, even safety starts to feel heavy. You may notice subtle signs, moments of irritation, quiet sadness, feelings of emptiness, or the sense that life has slowed down around you while your heart has moved ahead. These feelings are not random. They are signals that you are evolving, that Allah has expanded your heart beyond the walls that once held it, and that it is time to move forward. It can be frightening to realize that you no longer belong in the place you have called home for so long. You may feel guilt for wanting more, fear for leaving what is familiar, or confusion about what comes next. But growth always requires leaving behind what no longer serves you. The pain and restlessness you feel are not punishments, they are part of the process of aligning yourself with what Allah has prepared for you. It is a quiet invitation to step out of comfort and move into purpose. Your soul knows it needs more than what it currently has. Even if your mind resists, it whispers that you deserve clarity, peace, and a space that allows you to flourish. And Allah honors that growth. He will not keep you confined in a place that restricts your heart. He will not allow your soul to remain small when it is ready to rise. Every ache, every restlessness, every moment of dissatisfaction is a subtle reminder that your heart is meant for more. The beauty of this is that the outgrowing does not happen all at once. It is a gentle process, giving you time to reflect, adjust, and recognize that change is necessary. The old place may still feel familiar and even comforting at times, but it no longer aligns with who you are becoming, and that is a mercy. Because if Allah did not guide your soul in this way, you might stay attached to what limits your growth, keeping you from fulfilling the purpose He has for you. When you finally accept this reality, you will begin to feel a shift. The heaviness softens, the longing in your heart begins to make sense. You start seeing the direction Allah is nudging you toward, and you realize that outgrowing a space, letting go of what was once comfortable, is not a loss. It is a preparation for something greater, a step closer to peace, clarity, and alignment with the life your soul was created to live. Allah is protecting you from a future you cannot see. Sometimes, the discomfort you feel today can feel unfair, confusing, or even painful. You may wonder why things are not going the way you hoped, why the people you trusted let you down, why doors keep closing, or why peace seems so far away. But what you do not see is that Allah is protecting you from a future you cannot yet understand. He is steering you away from paths that would have caused harm, heartbreak, or spiritual emptiness even before those consequences reach you. The feeling of unease, the restlessness in your chest, the subtle sense that something is not right, all of this is a shield of mercy quietly keeping you safe. It is human nature to want to see the outcome before trusting the process. We want to know the reason, the plan, and the end result before we accept discomfort or change. But divine protection often works in ways that are invisible to us. Sometimes the very things we want, the doors we are desperate to open, or the people we are desperate to hold on to, are not good for us. Allah, in His wisdom, knows what lies ahead. He understands the storms, the struggles, and the pain that we cannot see, and out of love and mercy, He diverts us before we walk into harm. This protection is not always obvious, and it is not always easy to recognize. Sometimes it shows up as repeated obstacles, closed doors, delays, or feelings of unease. You may feel frustrated, angry, or hopeless. But every time life redirects you in these small ways, it is a mercy. Every closed door is a whisper from Allah saying, "Not this way, trust me for what is better." Even when you cannot see the reason, He is protecting your heart, your future, and your purpose. The wisdom of this protection becomes clear only with time. You may not understand now why someone left, why a plan failed, or why an opportunity slipped away. But one day, when the pieces of your life come together, you will see that every discomfort, every delay, every painful twist was guiding you away from something that would have pulled you down and towards something that was meant for your growth and peace. The discomfort you feel is not random. It is a map drawn with love, showing you the safest path, even when you cannot see the full picture. It is natural to resist this process. The heart wants certainty, control, and immediate results. But protection often comes in gentle, unseen ways. Allah allows you to feel restlessness, hesitation, or anxiety because these feelings alert your heart and guide your choices. They teach patience, reliance, and trust. The unease is not meant to punish you. It is meant to keep you alert, aware, and open to the guidance that will lead you to what is best for you. When you finally surrender to this process, when you stop struggling against the discomfort and begin to trust in the wisdom of what you cannot yet see, you will start noticing the subtle signs of Allah's care. The heaviness will feel lighter. The heart will find quiet moments of understanding, and slowly, what once felt like obstacles will reveal themselves as blessings, protecting you from harm and leading you to a future that is aligned with your true purpose. Attachment is what makes redirection hurt. The reason redirection often feels so painful is not because the new path is hard or because life is being unfair. The pain comes from attachment to people, places, dreams, routines, or even versions of ourselves that we have held onto for years. Our hearts get used to familiarity, to what feels safe and predictable, even when it no longer nourishes our soul. So, when Allah begins to redirect us, when He gently or sometimes suddenly steers us away from what we have been holding on to, the heart resists. It aches because it has to release what it loved, what it depended on, and what it thought it could not live without. Attachment is natural, it is human. We find comfort in holding on because it feels like security, but not everything we cling to is meant to stay. Sometimes we hold on to people who drain us, jobs that diminish our potential, or situations that keep us from growing. When Allah allows our hearts to feel discomfort in these moments, it is His mercy at work. He is not punishing us. He is teaching us a deeper truth. Our reliance and attachment must first and foremost be on Him. Every other attachment is temporary, and if we do not learn to release it, it can quietly hold us back from the life He has prepared for us. The pain you feel when something is being removed is a sign that your heart is learning. It is learning that comfort alone is not the measure of what is right. The relationships, opportunities, and comforts that once seemed essential may not have been truly good for you. And when you release them, even reluctantly, you make space in your life for what is meant to stay, what will truly nourish you, and what will bring lasting peace. This process is not easy, and it can take time. Sometimes you may find yourself going back mentally, wishing things were the way they used to be. You may feel guilt, sadness, or even anger. These feelings are normal because the heart is adjusting, but every moment of discomfort is also a lesson in trust, patience, and surrender. It is a reminder that Allah knows what is best, even when the heart is clinging to what feels safe but no longer belongs in your life. The beauty of learning to release attachment is that it does not leave you empty, it leaves you free. Free to grow, free to accept what Allah has prepared, and free to experience a peace that comes from alignment with His will. The ache you feel now will one day make sense when you look back and see that what was taken from you was never meant to harm you, but to protect you, guide you, and create room for something far better than you could imagine. When the heart learns to trust Allah above all else, even the pain of redirection becomes a blessing, a quiet teacher that shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and closer to Him. You cannot escape this feeling because Allah is merciful. You may have tried everything to escape it. You may have distracted yourself with work, hobbies, social media, or endless busyness. You may have told yourself that it is nothing, that it will pass, or that you are overthinking, but no matter what you do, it keeps coming back. That uncomfortable feeling, the heaviness in your chest, the quiet unrest in your heart, is not a mistake, and it is not a punishment. It is mercy. Allah does not abandon the hearts of those He loves, and this feeling is one of the ways He reaches out to you, gently but persistently. This is a mercy because it does not allow you to remain asleep in misalignment. It does not allow you to stay in situations, relationships, or patterns that may be slowly harming your soul without you even realizing it. The discomfort is like a soft alarm, reminding you that something is not right, that your heart is searching for something more, something truer, something closer to Allah. It is an invitation to pause, to reflect, and to reconsider your choices, your attachments, and the path you are on. Sometimes the feeling can feel heavy, even unbearable. You may wish it would go away, that life could return to the way it was, or that your heart could feel normal again. But the reason it does not go away is because Allah is protecting you from what you cannot yet see. If He allowed you to stay comfortable in what is slowly pulling you away from your purpose, you might continue down a path that would distance you from peace, clarity, and fulfillment. The persistence of this feeling is evidence that Allah has not forgotten you, that He is still guiding you, and that He is still gently steering your heart toward what is best. This is why you cannot ignore it, why distraction never truly works, and why avoidance only delays the growth your heart needs. Every time the feeling resurfaces, it is a sign of divine attention. It is Allah's way of reminding you that you belong to Him, that your heart is precious, and that He wants to lead you to something far better than you imagine. The discomfort is teaching you patience, teaching you awareness, teaching you to listen to your heart, and to trust that not all moments of unease are negative. Eventually, as you sit with it, reflect on it, and allow yourself to feel it fully instead of running from it, the heart begins to learn. You start noticing that the discomfort is not meaningless, that it is a teacher, a guide, and a protection. You begin to understand that this merciful feeling is preparing you for clarity, preparing you for growth, and preparing you to receive the next chapter of your life with readiness and trust. It is a quiet form of love, showing that Allah is intimately aware of your journey, your weaknesses, and your needs, and that He will not let your soul wander aimlessly. And when the time comes, when you finally align with what He wants for you, the heaviness that once seemed unbearable will transform into peace. The persistent feeling that you thought you could never escape will reveal itself as a blessing, a mercy that kept you from harm, and a guide that never let you walk alone. Allah's love is always protective, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it challenges you, and even when you do not understand it. Allah is asking you to trust before you understand. There are times in life when you feel confused, lost, or uncertain. You may not understand why things are happening the way they are, why doors are closing, why relationships are ending, or why plans are failing. And in those moments, your heart may feel heavy, restless, or even afraid. But these moments are not meant to scare you. They are moments in which Allah is asking you to trust Him before you fully understand. Trusting before understanding is not easy. Our human nature wants to see the outcome, know the reason, and control the path ahead. We want certainty and we want security. But Allah's wisdom does not always work according to our timelines or expectations. Sometimes, the greatest blessings and the clearest paths come only after moments of uncertainty, hesitation, or discomfort. The heart must learn to rely on Allah alone, even when the mind cannot grasp the full picture. This is where true faith is revealed, in the willingness to take a step forward, even when the road is unclear. When you surrender to what you cannot see, when you let go of control, when you trust Allah's plan without demanding immediate answers, you are practicing the deepest form of reliance. It is in these moments that your heart becomes stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with the guidance that Allah is providing. Often, we resist this process because it feels uncomfortable. We want reassurance, clarity, and certainty. We want to know exactly what is coming next. But Allah's way is gentle and deliberate. He allows the heart to experience uncertainty, to awaken it, to stretch it, and to teach it patience. Every moment of trust without full understanding strengthens your connection to Him. Every step taken in reliance, even with fear, builds courage and clarity. It is natural to feel fear or doubt. The unknown can feel heavy, and letting go of what is familiar can feel risky. But Allah knows your heart, your limits, and your needs. He asks for your trust not to test you unfairly, but to prepare you for what is coming, to align you with the path that will bring the most peace, growth, and fulfillment. The discomfort you feel is part of the process. It is a sign that your heart is being readied for something greater than you can see right now. The beauty of this trust is that it does not leave you helpless. Even in moments of uncertainty, guidance is present, subtle signs are given, and the heart begins to feel a quiet reassurance that all will be well. The steps may not be clear, the outcome may not be visible, but the heart learns to move forward with faith, knowing that Allah is leading it gently, protecting it, and preparing it for blessings that will become clear in their own time. When you finally surrender to this trust, the heart experiences a unique peace, a calm, that comes not from understanding everything, but from knowing that Allah's wisdom is perfect. You begin to realize that life's uncertainties are not obstacles, but invitations. They invite the heart to rely fully on Allah, to let go of fear, to release the need for control, and to walk forward with courage. The more you practice this trust, the lighter the heart becomes, and the more aligned it grows with the guidance that was always there, patiently waiting for you to recognize it. Peace returns when you align with Allah's will. Eventually, when you stop resisting and begin to trust, when you let go of fear, attachment, and the need to control every outcome, peace begins to return. But it is not the fragile, temporary peace of comfort or familiarity. It is a deep, lasting peace that comes from aligning your heart and your life with Allah's will. You realize that the discomfort, restlessness, and heaviness you experienced were never enemies. They were guides, gently steering you toward what your soul truly needed. Peace returns not because the world changes instantly, but because your heart changes, your perspective shifts. You begin to see the wisdom in what once felt like pain, the guidance in what once felt confusing, and the protection in what once felt like loss. The heart that once felt restless now rests in knowing that every twist, turn, and challenge was part of a plan far greater than what you could see at the time. What was once uncertainty becomes clarity, what was once heaviness becomes ease, and what was once fear becomes trust. This alignment brings freedom. You no longer feel chained to what is not yours, to what was never meant to stay, or to what would have held you back. The heart that once ached over change now embraces it, because it understands that every change was a step toward what is best for you. You begin to recognize that the paths you thought were closed were actually openings to something better, and the endings you mourned were blessings in disguise. And peace is not just the absence of struggle, it is the presence of understanding. You feel connected, guided, and secure, even when life is still moving forward in uncertainty. Your heart knows that Allah's wisdom is perfect, that His timing is flawless, and that He never leads a soul astray. You feel contentment in surrender, gratitude in challenges, and a quiet joy in knowing that your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. This peace also teaches the heart patience, humility, and reliance. You learn to move through life with confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because you trust that every imperfection, every delay, and every trial has meaning. You begin to see that what once seemed like obstacles were actually lessons, shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the fullness of life that aligns with your purpose. And the most beautiful part is that once peace returns, you feel it not just in moments of stillness, but in the way you live each day. Your decisions become clearer, your relationships become healthier, and your heart moves forward with calm assurance. You no longer fear change, loss, or uncertainty, because you have experienced that even in the hardest moments, Allah's will was guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you for the life and peace your soul was created to have. In the end, peace is not a reward for avoiding struggle. It is the result of trusting the one who knows best. It is the result of listening to the whispers of your heart, following the guidance of discomfort, releasing attachment, surrendering to trust, and aligning your life with the wisdom of Allah. And when you live in this alignment, you finally understand that all the heaviness, all the restlessness, and all the challenges were never meaningless. They were the pathway to the peace you were always meant to know. As we come to the end of this talk, I want you to take a moment and feel your heart. Feel the weight, the restlessness, the heaviness you may have been carrying. That feeling, it has been your guide, your teacher, your protection. And now, after listening, you can begin to see that nothing you have felt was wasted. Everything was preparing you for clarity, for growth, and for a peace that is far deeper than you have ever known. Remember, the discomfort you cannot escape is not your enemy. It is Allah's mercy, quietly guiding you, protecting you, and redirecting you toward what your heart truly needs. The people, the places, the situations, and even the endings that once hurt you, all of them were part of a plan you could not see at the time. And now, through patience, reflection, and trust, you can begin to understand that every twist and turn has meaning. I want you to leave today with one truth in your heart. Peace does not come from holding on to what is familiar, or clinging to comfort, or fearing change. Peace comes when you align your life with the guidance you have been given, when you trust even before you understand, and when you release what no longer serves your soul. So take this moment as a turning point. Reflect on what you have learned. Let the feelings you have tried to escape guide you instead. And remember, every heaviness, every restlessness, every moment of unease is a whisper from Allah saying, I am still guiding you. I am still protecting you. I am still with you. If this talk has touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Reflect on it, revisit it, and allow the lessons to sink in over time. And always remember, what you feel right now is not random. It is a message, a protection, a redirection, and a pathway to a peace your heart has been longing for all along. Stay patient, stay aware, and above all, stay connected to the one who knows you best. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should, and the peace you seek is closer than you think.